and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I am going to be doing a plan with me for the month of September. Now, I am pre-filming this in August, but I have to pretty much have everything for September mapped out and ready to go because I'm going to be basically packing up all of my things and going on a little bit of an adventure or a journey. Definitely check out the vlogs if you guys want to keep on track with that, as well as my Instagram. But that said, I'm prepping and pre-planning everything, going from work to content to just generally layouts in my bullet journal. I've also just been really loving my bullet journal lately. In July, I started reusing it on a daily basis, and it has pretty much been the only thing that's kept me on schedule with all of the things going on this year, like Youtober, like moving, like getting my things in order, my adulting stuff in order. So it's definitely been a huge help. Bullet journaling is meant to be easy, it's meant to be efficient, it's meant to be done in a way that brings you peace, calm, contentment, and joy. So hey, if going ham on all of the decorations, it gives you that feeling, definitely go for it. But don't be discouraged if you just want to use a pen and a notebook. That's all you really need. You don't have to get fancy or colorful at all. It's just supposed to help keep everything in one place. So if you guys want some ideas of the spreads that I've been loving lately to keep myself organized, then just keep watching. So the first thing I always like to do when I'm pulling out my bullet journal is pick out the colors, because it's my favorite part, honestly. And for September, I don't know why, I always just think of pinks, yellows, and oranges. I feel like because it's August leading into October. So those are the colors that I chose to go for. And I decided to make sort of like a coffee cup calendar and just a coffee stain. I kind of pulled coffee and that theme throughout this whole just September spread. You'll see it didn't turn out to be my favorite, but it's no big deal. The title page isn't really, I don't really use it all that often anyways, but I just like to have everything sectioned off. So I decided to put a quote onto the side just saying, make it a September to remember, a little note to self. And then because September makes me think of kind of like back to school, but also I'm usually really busy around this time with Youtober, so it's like a study time for me in a way. I decided to put some school supplies just around because, I don't know, it fit the vibe. So, like I said, I don't overly use this page. The next one I definitely do though. So I like to usually make a monthly spread. Now this has taken me so many months to finally master, but I've figured out exactly how I like my monthly calendars to go. I usually spread it out over 2 pages and just create this blocked design like you see. So I'm just gonna go ahead, fill in the top with black, and just create some sidebars for some notes and some goals for the month, because I do come back and check this usually a couple times throughout the week just to get an overview of my month, but also to check off the goals that I'm trying to keep track of to get done before the month is over. And a quick tip that you can use if you aren't really someone that wants to draw in your bullet journal but wants to add a little bit more decoration is to just use color blocking. Like I just take markers and create big lines or blocks, and I feel like it just makes it look a lot prettier without having to draw. Off to the side, I had a little bit of extra room as well, so I decided to make a big tracker for one of my overall goals for September, which is Youtober. It's a 31 video series on my main channel, so I made 31 blocks so I can fill up the bar as my goal gets completed over the duration of the month. Now, these are probably two of my favorite spreads to do every single month, and they are my habit trackers and my mood trackers. I don't know why, I just get so much joy filling this out every single day. So this is how I've been doing my habit trackers lately, is I create a grid and I put all of the days of the week down the sidebar of the grid, and then I just alternate each line with a color, so it's just easier to coordinate when you go to put each habit in. And then you do the same thing, creating grid lines going downwards, and these are going to be the habits. So in each bar, I just wrote down a habit that I'm keeping track of, like getting up at 6 a.m. or if I did yoga or anything like that. And this isn't necessarily to say you want to do all of these things every day. It's more so just to keep track so you can get an overall look at where you're at for the month. For instance, one of the things I wrote down is if I made food at home or if I ordered food. So obviously I'm not trying to do one or the other. It's just getting an overview for the month, because I swear it isn't until you're actually tracking your habits that you realize how many of them you tend to repeat without noticing. So then off to the other side, I just created a mood tracker. All you really need to do for this is just create a section that you can color in for every day of the month. Now, I went fancy with this and made a bunch of coffee cups, but each of the stripes basically represents a day within the month, and then you'll see the little spills at the bottom. I'm gonna color those in with different colors for different moods, ranging from being really happy and excited, to being kind of just generally content, to feeling in the middle, to feeling not so great. And then each day I can go in and color in the stripe for whatever feeling I'm having. Again, I find this so interesting to look at after the month is over, just to see what habits or what patterns are kind of repeating themselves and which ones are just not, you know? It's just, again, it's good information. Now, depending on how much I'm using my bullet journal, I will create a weekly spread. Now, I don't always do this because sometimes I just like to use pen and paper beside my computer, but when I do, I will just block out a section for each day of the week and then write down only my 3 main goals. This is super important because it keeps me from overpiling too many things to do in a day. So it's kind of like a weekly highlight, just 3 things each day that you need to get done, and everything else is kind of like extra, and then notes of things you're noticing throughout that experience. Another thing that you can do with weekly spreads as well is make another goal tracker. So for instance, one of my goals is to be drinking 2 liters of water every day. So on each day, I just sectioned off 8 little squares that I can fill in for each 500 milliliter glass, which would then create my goal of 2 liters. Now, sometimes I'll add other spreads, but these have been my bread and butter for the last few months for keeping on track of everything, not only just with work, but even personally, habit-wise, mood-wise, and it's just made me feel like I have everything in one place, everything tracked, ready to go, and also like I'm able to look back and then see my notes, see my patterns, see my habits, and kind of see where I need to make tweaks and changes in order to just better show up in my life. And then in terms of my daily logging, I'll just usually sign in once a day and write down whatever notes I have for the day. And that's a pretty general overview of how I've been using my bullet journal on a monthly basis. So there you guys have it. That is my plan with me for the month of September. Let me know if you guys liked this video, if you guys want to see different types of spreads for different things. I was planning on doing perhaps a video on how I plan for Youtober, which is a daily video series that I do on my main channel for the month of October. And aside from that, I'll see all of you guys in my next video. Bye guys.